Love that.
How about that?
How many backpack things do I have now? 60. Nice, 60.
All right.
60.
Hey,
We're
all
always
cats and
at 60.
kittens. Welcome back to our Wonderland series.
I thought I was cool. Thanks, Dave.
Let's see. What side quest? Hot Fizz. That's what we were on. Find the Shrine of Lightning. Oh, yeah, that one was fun. We should do that. We should do a bunch of side quests. We should get all of these because we're max level at this point. So now it's just like, let's experience all the stuff and then do the final part, you know?
Yeah.
Works for me.
Yeah, and I really do like the fact that the quests do level with you. Like the whole world levels with you, so it's not like you're ever going back to a... Yeah. Listen,
I want to try this pistol. What I got there.
Oh yeah, I got a new pistol too. I'm really happy with it. It's called Head Cannon. It's called, and its red text
That's
is
what I was just going to use.
Captain of the Ship. Mine does about
Yeah, that's what I...
1,300 damage. And I'm like, yeah, this looks good. I'll try it.
Yeah.
It shoots really well.
Yeah, it looks pretty neat.
Try shooting it and get a feel of it. I also like how the when you have it out, the magazines look like they're quivering in the chamber.
Oh, that's cool.
I can see that. That's weird. I like it.
Or like a motor running, I guess. Yeah. Okay, and fire rate's pretty good too. Oh, I gotta go buy more ammo now. Oops, and I should actually set it to... Aha. Ammo. Okay.
I am also ready to shoot things.
Me too.
Then shoot things we shall. Let's go find the Shrine of Lightning.
Okay.
Somewhere across the map. Hooah.
Okay.
And honestly, yeah,
Scattermans.
I think we're... Let me check out the thing here.
Oops.
Yeah, there's still 2 shrines left, it says. Loot. Whoa!
Oh, no.
What the hell? That was right beside me.
That did not punch the Scatterman in time.
Okay. Random encounter, as it happens. Oh, this is better for bigger guys. I'm gonna go back to shotgun. Woo!
Sorry, I didn't know you were going to jump into that.
Oh, God.
No, it's okay. I
Badass pirate made.
There we go. I got myself back up. Yay.
Pirate necrophiliac over here.
What's going on? What?
I killed a pirate necro.
There. Oh, I see over here.
There's another
Coming.
guy, God damn it.
Oh, you're up. Sweet. Oh, and that was it. Nice.
I guess the random encounters are often smaller.
Yeah. Who wants to smash? Somebody else smash.
I can smash.
Smash.
Okay, smash.
Ooh. Oh, come to this person. Yes, please. I just got a golden spell.
Ooh.
Arcane Bolt of Unrelenting. From thine fingy tippers comes doom. Let's see what this looks like. If I over here. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's recharged.
No magic left.
Again. Hold.
Huh. Huh?
Can you hold? Can it? Is it like a flamethrower at all?
No.
Oh, oops, sorry. Didn't mean to do that to you.
It didn't hurt me. Good to know. Okay, I'll try it against enemies and see how it does. It says it does 500 damage. Oh, sorry, no. It says it does 674 times 3. So that sounds like a bunch. And then a bit of lightning. After scoring a critical hit with the spell, a portion of its cooldown is refunded. Oh. Interesting. And it's already got a super fast cooldown, so it's just like a... okay, cool. Cool. All right, are we ready to go? Yeah.
Yar.
Let's go. Okay. I think I was about to say, yeah, if we still spot any dungeons or shrine, basically any shrine pieces, let's go for it too.
Okay.
Hey.
I think the next one on the list that unlocks is the loot luck. So that would be nice. A little bit extra loot luck.
Okay.
But I don't know. I am heading straight towards the side quest though. This way. Ooh. It's nice to see our flag everywhere. Our banner.
Yeah.
Wheels.
Yes.
We are amazing. It's true.
There we go.
Give me all that loot. Loot.
Oh, we could have teleported. We were doing the side quest where the side quest we're on is actually in the necropolis, where the place we were just at.
Propolis.
That's what we were doing. We could have just teleported there. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Let's see. Yeah.
I guess we'll just take that.
You, mister, have been very insistent on my intention. And you need to go and lay down, you little fuzzy nutter. What's your problem? Ryan, go cuddle Hank. Go cuddle Hank.
Remember how to get back there.
Well, actually, come to think of it, maybe we don't want to do... Instead of pushing in that way, let's just pick something else. Oh, we had Walk the Stalk. We had the...
Die? Oh, yeah. That is.
We had that beanstalk that grew. I think we didn't end up going... Or we did a little bit.
Yeah, I think there were some side questy things there, probably.
Yeah, I just set it to one of them. Investigate the castle.
I'm like right by there. Where did that go? I was like, oh, he's over on the
There's
other side.
also...
How did it come to be
Still can't
divided
figure out how to
into
get this
objects
die that I
painted
think
with
you have to
diverse
fall off the cliff.
bios?
Oh, it looks
Yeah.
like he was trying to do it.
Yeah, I almost did it.
Just dodged a skeleton, too. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Questions asked by Nullifer, the only geologist, even as she was burned at the stake for unre-
Oh, I
Nullifer.
was just about to slide off the cliff and maybe get it. I don't know.
Okay, well, you try again later.
Yeah, it's not like it's going anywhere.
Oh, yeah. Can we... Is there any other teleports on this map? Yes, there are. So where does it want us to go? The fuck? I should zoom out. Okay, all the way over there. So the one that we should teleport to is Murder Church.
Moiter Church.
Yeah,
Already.
that's where I'm teleporting right now. Zoop. All right.
Away we go.
Yay. All right. Somewhere nearby?
Ammunition.
I hope none of the townsfolk get altitude sickness.
Oh, there's the castle.
Look at that.
Oh, whee! Oh, I want this, whatever it is. What is it? Nothing.
Oh god.
Yay.
Sure, but I just barely managed to mantle up.
Oh man, this would be so cool in VR.
Whoa.
Bouncy, bounce.
Yeah, one day.
Bouncy, bouncy.
You didn't even come up here and explore around the rest of the way.
What?
You've already done this. I found a die.
Well, you should...
I just let it put me where I needed it to be.
I don't know how to get back, Dave.
Teleport
Yeah, pretty much teleport back to the church again, I guess.
right there.
Oh, okay.
Right there anyway.
Yeah,
Oh,
when you jumped off the slide before she kept going. It was up here.
Shit, I didn't realize there was a checkpoint at the bottom. I just killed myself for no reason. Okay, yeah, I'm going to teleport.
Dang it.
More like a what-if scenario.
Nothing like a bit of death to
Okay,
get the blood
sliding
flowing.
and jumping off. Sliding
It's
and
electric.
jumping off.
Nice.
I did
Yeah,
it.
just around the corner there's a really platformy thing.
Oh, okay.
That? Oh, wow, you made it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
This way? Oh, there's a chest down there.
Yep. Oh,
What are
nice.
you talking about, Dave?
Oh, I see. Nice.
Oh,
Oh,
Is it possible for someone to respond to me?
I did.
No, I know you did now. I asked a while ago.
I'm
That's
sure
fine.
it is, so
It's
I'm
not a
just
big
going to
deal.
start the cycle anew.
There's also a big chest over the other way, so
Okay.
I did find that.
Yeah, I heard you.
Go the other way.
Bouncy chests.
It's the other way. Oh, this way. I see. Under the stock.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very good.
interesting.
Couple of blurs.
What is this? Oh, this just the staircase just leads right back up to the
Oh.
top
Okay.
of this. That's not what we're here for. Wait, yeah, we're in the wrong end.
Wait, which way?
I'm going back out the way we just
Please.
came in. Oh no, that was wrong. That was wrong. That was wrong. I didn't do that right. You can go back the way we came because there's a bridge that connects back up to the stock.
Oh.
Oh, now we're here.
That's lots of bad choices. Dead.
I hate it when it decides to just like target my calamity things a mile away for some weird reason.
Yeah, you gotta be pretty careful on that.
Yeah, it's real finicky in the Z-axis.
They're pretty accurate, rather. Ah. Oh, whoa, I'm down. I didn't realize. Shit.
Got you, buddy.
Oh, thank you. Yay, back up. Appreciate it. Okay.
Zombies.
I don't think this is the direction we want to be going, though.
I don't think so, but the fight. Ah!
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we'll finish this fight for sure. Where are you? Up there somewhere?
Ah!
There you are. What the fuck? Ah, I hurt myself.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Why is it
I
like-
reloaded. Oh, who has the spinning blade thing? Who did the spinning blade thing with the reloaded weapon?
I hate you.
Maybe it was Dave. Dave, was that you?
Oh,
No.
we're not me.
Bullets beyond counting.
Oh, was it me? No, no, mine doesn't do that.
Run away.
Okay. Well, somebody did that. Anyway.
Let me see a blue thing. Give me that loot.
Okay,
Nothing up here. I'm just looking around.
let's go back inside the castle
Yeah.
Boy.
and head to that beanstalk. Assume I'm going the right way. Feels like I'm going the right way. No, am I going the right? I just went in a circle. Okay, we gotta go up.
We have to like climb up here to get there.
Yeah, staircase or something. Oh. Yeah, this side.
Staircase?
This side.
Oh,
Over here. I just marked it. This gets us up to the top floor. Whee. Or, yeah. Whee.
Let's see.
Whoa, badass. Just hiding there. Oh my goodness.
Spell dispensed.
Well then. And then a chest. Ooh, nice little bash weapon. There we go. Cool. Damn it. Gotta be careful with that. This is where we started from. Yay!
Let's quickly sell a couple things since we're here.
Hank, can you put my kettle on for a tea?
I'll spend my mythic rank then. Reload speed. Oh, okay. It's just like, yeah, it's just like the old stuff. By minute little bit percent. Yeah, let's increase dex.
Does anyone use shotguns?
Yes. Does it got a cool reload?
Maybe? I don't know. Look, I just dropped it.
Oh. No. You go ahead and keep it. It does have a reload property, which is the gun with wings, which is actually interesting, because you might be able to spam that. Excuse me.
Decaf roll grade, please. Some milk and honey. Thank you. You're a darling.
Okay.
Oh, man. It's my crap. I don't want it.
Oh, after our conversation about red and blue light, I realized I didn't have my blue light turned on enough. I had it on cyan. So now it is actually making a nice... It's making a really nice purple. Now that it's blue.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
No, it's not as red as it was.
Yeah. Okay. Whee! I'm going. Whee! I think you can just let it... Oh, no, I guess you kind of have to direct it a bit.
Oh, I'm not directing it at all. I'm just going.
Whee!
Shaboing. Oh my.
It reminds me of ziplining.
That was a sick jump. Mad air.
Never done that, but it sounds like a lot of fun. Well, I guess I've done it in small...
Dominican.
I've done small zip lines. Like like measured in you know, a dozen meters maybe.
Playground shit.
Welcome to my reload property, asshole. Oh. Oh.
Ooh, there's a
God
badass
damn
cut
it.
in there,
Switch
too.
to the sniper.
Oh, what's marked? Oh. I don't see whatever you're seeing. Whoa. Another one. Excuse me, sir. This is a Wendy's. Okay. Oh, I see a gold. What's this? What's this? A ring. Pummeling silicon ring of the natural 20. Increases melee damage. Increases melee critical hit. Shotgun magazine size. Oh my goodness, it was made for me. While health is above 50%, effects are increased 33%. Interesting.
I also just found a rocket launcher that might be to your taste.
Ooh. I have to see. I think I just got the epithet of the depths.
He's dropped it right here. I'm over here.
Huh? Where? I see you. I see you. I see you. Here, let me switch to it.
It totally looks like a place where they would have hidden something, but I don't see it.
No, this is okay. Oh.
Dave, did you just drop that?
Oh,
It's okay. I don't.
It was for Lennon.
I don't need it.
Drop
I
it.
don't need it.
You drop that right now,
damn,
mister.
I'm trying to find it. Aggressive jealousy? Is that the one?
Yeah, whatever.
Jesus.
Or was it jolting cat?
No, that's the wrong one.
Okay, I guess
It's
I have
the-
two.
the-
It was the jolting one. I didn't, and I don't.
Hey.
Just give it back to Al, I guess. Yeah.
He's Jesus Christ.
Oh, you grabbed the other one that I threw down too.
I did. Here you go. Stealing stuff.
I didn't know you were throwing a thing down. I was just like, oh, loot. I like
Yeah,
loot.
well, if you've been listening to us at all, well, we were talking, which you never do. It's fine.
I
You
was
don't
too
have to
busy
listen to us.
looting. Oh, I found a
Yeah,
die.
there's a dice.
Oh, Jesus fucking, another one of those badass skeleton archers.
Oh, I see it. Ooh.
Pick.
Ooh, what's going up?
Okay. Sure. Ooh, one more blue.
Ooh, new sniper rifle.
Yeah, I don't know about this spell yet. I think I gotta like really, I gotta get a big target that I can make sure I hit because I haven't fully seen the effects of it. So far, it's been a little disappointing. Doesn't have the umph I'm looking for.
Hmm. Hmm. No, my sniper rifle's still better. God damn it.
Yeah. Okay. I see.
Enemies.
What?
I see him.
Where?
I don't know. I was just running.
Oh,
hoping there would be
sorry.
some.
I thought that was a warning. Ooh, ammo.
Soon you'll serve me. You'll all serve.
Dragons. Or wyverns. Let's see if I can do the other one on this. Let's go with big boy rocket.
Crash.
Oh no. Crash.
What, you two, or?
Yeah. Crashy crash. Might just be stalled. Maybe it'll catch up. I don't think so.
Creation.
I have my doubts.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm gonna go forward and see if it crashes for me. No, nothing's happening. Oh shit, they are trying to kill me. I'm gonna back up a little bit. There's a spawn point right here, so if you come in, you'll likely come in right here. Yeah. I'm just gonna back up where they're not gonna attack me. Weird. I wonder what causes that.
Thank you. Yeah, it booted both of us at the same time.
Yeah, weird.
It's weird.
Okay, I am slowly kiting them with my rocket launcher though while I'm waiting. Again, they're not really able to do anything to me. Actually, I should keep using the big boy. Let's use big boy. Boom. Hey! Oh, got all of them. Nice. Can I do that again? There we go. New big boy. Big boy! The sniper and the rocket launcher. Love it.
Yep, we'll get it done.
Gator did.
All right.
Any more?
Just waiting for Dave to come back in.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Oh, I didn't know Dave wasn't in yet. Oh.
Alright, I'm almost there.
That was a fast turnaround for you, Al.
Yeah, my computer's awesome. Like, even when the power went out the last time in this room, the computer stayed fine. Like, a shortage of power. Like, it goes, cool, I'll hold this state for the 2 seconds, and then
Right.
the electricity comes back on, and the computer's fine.
Nice.
All right, now I'm back in.
Okay. Weird. For some reason, it says for me, both of you still have like a little death thing over your thing.
Weird.
Good.
Yeah.
Be all over.
Okay. What the fuck is over here?
But
Ooh. There's a dice with my name on it.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Over there. Yeah.
Worth a look.
Oh, there's a trap.
Ah, I see that.
oh, I came around.
That's so funny.
Way. I didn't even touch the trap.
You probably came up just as it wasn't
Oh, maybe.
going.
More to do. Back at it.
Okay. That'd be worth it. Okay, it's off. I'm gonna wait for it to be
Such a
on.
pretty place.
Yeah. Okay, go, 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 go. Come on, more than 10. Nope.
Oof.
Oh,
Well-
a couple of purples came out, though.
A couple of red things.
Test the lie. Can I go this way? Is this the end of this way? Oh,
There's nothing up there. I tried. Oops. What did I just pick up? No.
Ammo. More wyverns in the next area, as well as zombies.
Sweet. I'm gonna shoot it with my sniper rifles.
Okay.
Oh, what are you? You look scary.
Oh, I see. No, you don't. Alright, nope.
You didn't beg. Got that going for you.
Oh,
Damn it. Keep missing with this spell. Overkill, damn it.
just a little.
I'm nowhere near. Damn it.
No mercy for the Scattermans.
Ah, there we go. Badass. Oh. Oh, 2 of them. Oh, fun. Ooh, ow. Ow, ow, ow. And I'm back up. And they're all dead. Oh my goodness. Good work, team. Yeah. Oh, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, there's a bunch back here too.
And the fight
Ah,
ends, and we
the
immediately
hell up the
turn into a
side.
ska band. We're all like, pick it up, pick it up.
I was thinking the same.
Away. How do I get back up there? Oh no. Oh no.
Where did you
Am I
go?
stuck?
Oh, down. You're over here.
Died. Yeah. Oh no. I died.
Ah, God, that's a trap. There's a chest over here.
No, there was a way. There was a way around. Up over the plant onto the other side. Oh, okay. Ooh. Ah, there's a trap right there.
Against the cliff I fell across.
Cannot escape.
All right, where was this treasure you keep telling me about? Ta-ta!
Yeah.
Oh, this is crap. And there's a trap.
Said there was a trap.
You did not.
Yeah, I even said there was a trap too.
bastards. Why wouldn't you tell me?
I told you once already. I figured that you'd figure it out if you didn't hear it the first time. I don't know.
No. No. I'm just trying to blame someone for my problems.
Okay, fair enough.
Just let me blame you. Oh hey, it's you.
Nope.
Fucking problem.
Hey, you're big again.
See, that's
Yeah.
what I like about you.
Wait,
Your
did I miss him?
My very
Oh.
were telling me this next Fiend Bloom is gonna take a more hands-on approach. Gonna need you to watch my back on this one. Come on! This parasite thing is feeding on the life energy of the beanstalk.
I like how this is a whole ass side quest.
This big beautiful being
Oh,
must be protected.
wind. What's it protecting? I don't see anything good. Oh. Hey guys, hold up. There's a dead. There's a. Oh,
Things off me.
damn it. All right, we'll do it after.
Come back.
Yeah. The other side was a dead end, but there was a wind barrier. Whee! Let's go.
There's a whole lot I need to remove.
Shroom. Fucking hell. Sorry. Oh.
This is malevolent blooms are tough.
Oh, badass. Oh, there's something. Oh. Damn. Is there nothing left? We just did it? Nice. Wow. Got it, guys. Got it.
Done, folks.
A little intense.
Great. I'm still affected by something. Oh, geez. Whispers and frost.
Did you want to go back and check that thing out?
Yeah. Where the fuck was that?
Just
Wait.
back this way a bit.
Which
And
one?
there's a side. There's a thing over here too.
I don't even know.
It's got a gold sword. It looks fancy.
Oh, you're this way. Okay. Oh, there's like looks like there's 4 ways.
Oh, I see.
What? Are you supposed to go down?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. It's just a dead end? It's just a dead end.
That's a dead end. And
Okay.
I found out if the cliff was also a dead end. And,
Yes.
And it is.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just here to help.
You're an exemplar to aperture science.
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing yourself bodily at the discovery.
We do what we must because we can. Why does it look like that? Ah, they came out of that. Why did it come out of that? I don't like that.
Whoa.
Do they come out of paintings?
No.
They come out of paintings.
Okay, I gotta stop spinning. Damn it.
Oh, there's a portal. Oh my god, where am I?
Whee!
Hell are you?
I don't know, but there's a chest here. Big juicy one. Ooh.
Oh, and a dice.
But where? How?
Go through the damn painting.
Portal.
Here.
Anything?
That painting. I just marked it.
Okay, I guess I gotta get upstairs
Somehow it is right where we all were together. Oh wow. Nice. Here, I'll go back. Hey, how's it going? Painting. Mario style.
Click.
Oh,
Is it my turn? I don't remember.
I think it was Dave, you, me. So it's Dave's turn because I think I got the last one.
Okay.
We got. Same number as me.
Purples.
Yeah, purple and a blue. And there's a chest over here, Dave.
Let's see what's
Yeah, I saw
inside.
that.
Okay. I guess that's it for this little section. All right. Neat little...
Oh,
Whoa.
that's the story ending.
yeah,
Intense teleport effect. Oh, there's another die.
yeah.
This. Oh,
Oh, over there? Yeah.
oh, the chest too.
All right, Al. It's your turn then. Get better than a 6. Oh my goodness.
God.
666.
Crying out loud. Well, it is the sign of the devil.
Metals.
Boom! You just got exfoliated. Listen. Look at me. Look at me glisten. Anyway, we should be able to reach that monster now. Meet me back in town. Yeah! Come on, let's go.
Okay, whatever. Magazine size of 1. Well, that's a bullshit gun.
Okay. Where does he want us to go? Oh, this way. Yes. Oh, it's a checkpoint. Cool.
This is a new bonk. What's this bonk do?
Got a new bunk?
Oh, that's not as good.
Oh, do you like bunks?
I do like bonks.
Let me see. I think I might have picked up a couple bonk. 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 Those are the 2 I found. They're all yours to keep or sell.
No, I don't want either of those. I'll sell them, I guess.
Okay.
All right, let me see.
Yeah, I can't just smack that guy and knock him down the slide. Disappointing.
Are you doing something to me that I'm not seeing?
Gosh, they're using it right now.
Beans. So we go that way.
Yeah.
You ready, Dave?
Long way down
Oh,
to
shit.
the cheek. I hope you got buns.
Okay, good. Oh. I'm gonna keep going. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. Sure. Ah.
Oh,
I think it's just meant to be a slide, a corkscrew slide. Yeah, yeah.
Damn it.
Right. Wow. No, it keeps going. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Shit.
Gloria.
Shit. Get the fucking. There we go.
I didn't know we were supposed to shoot things.
I don't know. I was shooting them. Got it. Yes. I'm getting each of them so far, I think. We
Fast. I don't know how you even see him.
I have a shotgun, so I don't have to be much accurate.
Oh, that's good.
That was fun. And there's the chest.
Just over there.
Oh, damn. Okay. Okay. It comes out.
Catching up.
Just pick up.
I don't know what if there's sign things to or bullseyes to shoot. I don't know what they're for. I have no idea why I shot them.
I just did it because I saw them.
Okay, good. Oh, more. Oh, am I killing myself? Oh shit! My reload does fucking friendly fire. Damn it.
I like your outfit though. That looks awesome.
Oh, thank you. You see the bandolier of spikes I got?
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's great.
Okay. Without reloading, I'm gonna just hit the thing really quick, spend my mythic rank. We should go with frost damage. Yes, always.
Oh, there's some machines not too far from here.
Yeah, we in the town. Yeah.
I
Big
believe I should
place.
sell some things.
Where do you see machines?
Straight ahead here.
Okay. Oh, and there's
Just reading the map.
also a portal over there too.
Oh yeah, and there's spire.
We were here before. We were here before.
This seems strangely familiar.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Yeah. Refill ammo. Sell junk. What do I got left?
Oh yeah, where did I pick up your spells? Gotcha. These ass spikes.
Yeah, I don't know about this arcane bolt of unrelenting, that legendary I picked up. It has not been good.
No way.
Yeah, very unsatisfying for sure. I'm just gonna use something else I picked up at random. Just keep it for now. Don't think it's something either of you would be interested in, right?
What's that? Sorry. No,
This-
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were telling me that.
Okay. Hey,
Carrying a lot of crap.
you good to go.
Okay, take my crap.
Oh, there's the guy. Oh. Alright,
Hey, Dave. Can you adjust the position of your mic for a second? Like just
it doesn't really stay up. It's the thing is super loose, so it doesn't want to rotate up.
No, I mean like I was just thinking like maybe the distortion was coming from the wiring of your headset, because I know that you've had some problems in the past.
Oh, I wonder.
Because that static in the background. Can you hear it too, Al? By the way?
I can hear it a little bit actually.
No, I can't hear it.
Huh.
Weird.
Okay.
It's aliens.
I guess so.
Goddamn aliens.
Yeah, it looks like he wants to go over and say hello. I'm waiting for Al though, Dave.
Okay.
He's just looking at it, where he was.
Fun.
Oi.
Now get in there and whip that parasite's parasitic butt.
Okay.
I'll get you out of there when it's over.
That nasty,
Oh.
big little mushroom monster awaits.
Oh no.
Oh, it's we're on boss mode. Yeah. Oh yeah. You think you have a shield, but I say no, no to a shield.
Only had an electrical weapon. Oh well.
No, no shield. Now just meaty. Let's go.
The fungus is no longer among us.
Oh, Al found a pink bonk. Here you go. Wachow. I don't know what that sound was.
Rolling. Stop. It keeps rolling.
No, roll instead, hon. You gotta come to terms.
Mine's still better. Mine's still better.
Okay.
It that's in here.
Looking. No, it looks like just another
Probably not. It's a
arena.
boss room. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I guess
I'm
it's
just.
screwed up. Did we find extra things in there?
Yeah, I just went through the portal. Whatever. And then brings us to bunch of loot. What? What? We kill the boss and we get a bunch of loot? Look up.
As is tradition.
Excellent.
Say that?
Oh. Oh.
One
Right
man's
here.
treasure. Oh, this is mine.
Eh.
Yeah.
Eh.
That old fool! I know he's hiding the
Oh, another one.
applications from us. We've been his apprentices for years. Don't we deserve the top shelf stuff?
Okay. Oh, and
Yeah, but I do.
I think it's my turn on the die. Right here.
Oh, wow.
It's 2 chests and a die. Yeah.
The caster.
The cast. Did you get both chests already, Dave?
I only saw one. Oh, I see the other one now.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm returning to town. Boop. Ooh.
Sounds like a solid plan.
You saved the day, hero.
Damn right I did.
The beanstalk is safe. Thanks to you.
All right.
Townsfolk too.
Right, them two. That's also good. Anyway, thanks for your help. Only you can prevent sporous spires.
That is terrible.
Option was no more.
Ugh.
The fairy punch father was free to, go commune with other nature in different places and, let's be honest, probably punch stuff, because it's, kinda his jam. What?
So is that it for this area, I wonder? Let's go to the map real quick. Let's see. Oh, we got some dark sections. Alright, Mike picked that up in other side quests. Let's keep doing side quests then. Let's see. I can sort by area.
Rank.
Oh, there's more here too. We're in Tangle Drift, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's 3 here. So one of them is somewhere. Oh yeah, the sheep. Love the sheep. Let's see. I gotta look at the map, see which way it wants us to actually go. It wants us to go there, but I don't know how to go there. Oh, portal.
What's up?
It'll be a portal. What's up, Al?
I was looking over here wondering what this stuff was. All grayed out.
There is a portal right here. I think this will take us over there.
I want to ride the vine.
Yeah, you do.
This obelisk will summon a winged
What?
wyvern. Warp
What?
Oh,
What did you do?
I think I went to the wrong place.
probably
Oh,
other
no.
W words. I can't think of it.
Oh no. Oh no, I'm all alone. Oh god.
Just have to die.
Don't know how to get to you.
It's a mystery.
Don't know where you were.
I don't know what will happen if do I have to click something in order for it to happen? I think I do. Okay, I'm not going to activate it. I'm coming back. Ah!
Oh, I think
I'm
that's
coming
the
back.
one that we completed anyways. It's all green.
Okay.
Oh god, I think I just... Oh wow, I didn't die.
Is it one we did?
Okay. I don't know.
No, I don't have.
Close to it.
We must have seen it, but like I don't think we actually did it because it's dark on my
Oh, we're all
map.
here now.
Yeah, let's just do it now.
Oh, now it's not green anymore. What did you do?
Oh, this. Oh, ow, ow! I did that too close to myself.
I'm dying.
What the fuck? Yeah, same. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Eldritch bitch. Right here. Boom. Boom. Eat my rockets. Oh, nice. Oh, hey, that actually hit the ground. Cool.
Another one.
What?
Another eldritch fucking worm. Wyvern, whatever.
Oh, I don't know where you're fighting. Oh, I see it. I see it. I see it.
Dying again.
What? Okay. Coming.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Oh, you guys got you. Yeah. Oh, fucking another eldritch bitch. Oh, damn. Out of rockets. Ooh. Oh, you asshole. All right.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Obsidian Wyvern. What is that?
Probably the boss. Yeah. Whee! I help.
Right.
Ooh, I saw a shiny. Ha 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 ha. Of course. It was a golden spell. It's more saw blades. Alright. Maybe they're different. Maybe they're different. Let's see. Oh god, it's the same symbol. Alright, I'll give it another shot. Does it? Oh, wow. It's pretty and does have multiple castings.
Hey, Elle.
Y'all?
This might be a good necklace for you.
Ah.
Oh, hold on. I have to... There it is. That's the one.
Ooh. Whoa. Where'd this come from? Oh, spell shot? Oh, but I'm not a spell shot. This is,
Frost damage and stuff, though.
yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of things that do the frost damage. So this would be more, maybe, Dave's character, though. Dave's a spell shot, right?
Dave, are you spell shot?
Sure am. What's
Not
what?
over here.
This is funny, too, because this is, I had a thing like this before where there's a chance that you'll turn an enemy into a sheep anyway. Like, similar to your power. That was when I was doing that all the time. That's a fun one.
Yeah, I'll give this a shot. I had a Graveborn ring on, or necklace or whatever. It's several levels below, so this will probably be an improvement.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. So that was that. Did we get a shrine piece or something from that? Is that what she said? From getting an obelisk, or was that something else?
It just said challenge complete. I don't know.
Yeah, that's all I saw.
Okay. I don't remember how that works. Alright, going back. So, the portal... that we'd...
More loot over here.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, it's just a bunch of stuff that fell on the ground. I don't know if you guys...
Oh, oh yeah, I already picked through.
Some of it. Right.
Sorry, I threw you off there. I thought I was going where you guys were.
It's all right. We had a little adventure. Nothing wrong with that.
Kill the big wyvern.
Kill the wyvern. Kill the wyvern. Where are those machines? I gotta unload all my garbage again.
Oh. Really?
Here.
Oh, no.
I think that's somewhat on the way to where we were going anyways. I think.
Yeah, kinda. You go past... I'm over where the portal is, so I just marked it, but I'll mark it when you guys are done. I noticed we still haven't unlocked the last ring slot.
Slut? Isn't that Sonic the Hedgehog? Ring slut?
Yeah.
It's probably main quest related, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I guess I would also describe Gollum too. Anyways. Oh, I'm the only one who went through. Okay. Then.
We're coming. Let's do this.
1, 2, 3, go. Oh, this is a big dark area. Yeah.
Interesting.
Vincent! Castor! Come out of there this instant!
There's a sheep back here named Jenny.
Yo, I need some competent help.
Oh, talk to Joseph. Oh, well, do it.
My fool apprentices have locked me out of my
Oh, yeah.
home. I will need your assistance. Come this way. No doubt they are rifling through my notes and tomes, looking for dark magics. You must get inside before they unleash something beyond their understanding. Now, behold,
Oh, another portal.
this
Right then.
portal will take you inside my home.
Portal will take you inside my butthole.
So, Joseph, you just want me to climb in this random hole for you, okay?
Yeah, let's just
Yay.
find a random hole.
Old school Unreal tournament.
Oh, wow.
Ooh. Yeah. Or Kingdom Hearts. Yay.
Stop them before their foolishness costs us all.
Oh, I think I...
Oh, there's a die up here. Look at that.
Can't wait to throw some spells.
Are they all dead? Sweet.
I don't know whose turn it is.
I think it's your turn.
Yeah.
Well, alrighty then.
Lucky you.
Revan. I actually got some good stuff out of it.
Nice. Oh, there's a person right here. Ooh, what's behind here? It looks dark and terrible.
Apprentice, I need you to open the door.
We could go all Army of Darkness on this guy, like little tiny evil ashes.
That would be super fun.
Bud,
Come on.
Can I climb this dude?
must be stopped.
Nope.
Ransom, put your
Oh, kind of.
broken
It's not all the way up onto his head.
Let's try to get onto
A
it.
cage over there on a chain.
Oh, he's moving his hand. Oh, 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 yep.
Oh, God. I
There we
just got
go.
off. Oh, hey.
He goes up.
Cool. Ooh, we can go up this way. Ah, I fell down.
Ah, mortar. Ah. Got it.
Where?
Oh, I just killed it. Oh, mushrooms. Okay. Oh, they did.
Half the time in this game, I don't even know what's going on. It's just a blur of color.
I try to pay attention to
One of the
the...
best things about this game.
Yeah. 100%. Try to pay attention to the... I pay attention to the minimap for red dots. That's how I basically base where I target. I just like constantly look at the minimap and just turn. Face the things that I know are there. Okay, but I want back up. How do I get back up? Oh. It's cage.
God dang it. I'm in the wall now. How did that happen?
God is not meant for you.
Oh.
me too.
I'm trying to join you. Hold on.
You're just trying to deny us.
Damn it.
Oh, shit.
Oh, whoa. It slid me in here. I had no control.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
too.
Whee! Okay. This is fine. This is fine.
Investigate.
Apprentice,
This looks like your base, Dave.
Yeah, a little bit.
turns you into a skeleton. You're less powerful than ever.
Castor, the normal size skeleton. Oh, it's fucking, what's his name?
Castor the Caster. Oh, he's super immune to things. What the shit?
Skeletor. He looks like Skeletor.
Oh, it is, totally. Oh, like,
Oh, immune.
you, He-Man.
Immune to fucking everything.
Yeah,
No.
what the fuck? How are we supposed to hurt this?
Well, I'm doing damage there.
Yeah, I'm doing damage.
Oh, now I'm doing damage. He was just immune for a second. Okay. I didn't understand. Oh, yep. Immune again. All right. Fuck you. Oh, stop those things. He's healing.
Now I see.
Ah, damn it. Oh, it just got a life back. Okay. Whoa.
Oh, what the hell?
Oh my goodness.
Ow.
I am severely down. Let's see if I can take something out. Yay, that brought me back. Okay. You know what? Oh, he's already dead. Oh, wow. Loot explosion.
Hi.
Wow. That was a lot. Oh, yeah.
Armor.
Boop.
Ooh, a bonk.
I think.
Let me know if you find any decent assault rifles. I could use a new one.
Ooh.
I found an assault rifle that shoots shotgun. Yeah.
I think this is. Yeah, this is.
Ooh, I like what that does to my screen. Standing up here and looking over at Al, and the whole screen is like wavering like I'm underwater.
Oh, that's fine.
Rippling, not wavering.
Too bad. That's not good for any of us.
Too bad.
Yeah, it's a gold armor that's what did it say? Spore Ward and Graveborn.
Oh, I see. Well, you could always save it for a future playthrough.
That's true.
That's what I've been doing with my golds. Put them in the bank for others. Oh my goodness, you got one of them swords?
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. What kind of sword is it? Like, what's the wording on it? Is it gold or is it regular?
It's gold. It's the iridescent Ragnarok of the Assassin.
Yeah. Nice.
That's fun.
Now you like Zelda.
Kind of, yeah.
Reload. Alright. I'm going through a portal. Woo!
Normal sized again.
Ugh.
Excellent. You've escaped without the usual embiggening vertigo and teeth liquidation.
Oh, wow. So what are we doing here? Oh, talk to him. Okay.
Here is your reward.
What?
Done well, despite the machinations of my
fool
fool apprentices.
Okay.
Reminds me, Blakeson, come out here.
What'd we get?
I am sorry.
Oh, we got a spell. And some money.
Well,
Money.
last act of apology will be sweeping up the basement. There's skeleton all over it.
Yes, master.
And
We have no
doing
point
it
in
as
that
escape.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright then.
Is that it for over here? Do we have, let me see the map. It's all well mapped. Oh, no, I see a big area over here.
Now we have to reach the Hall of Heroes or something.
That's the main quest kind of kicking back in. Oh, there's a die over there. Whose turn is it? Is it Al's turn?
Maybe.
Oh, can't hear you, Al.
Did you die?
Gotta check.
There you
That's
go.
weird.
Oh, hey, you're back.
Yeah, that was weird. I think I accidentally closed the window when I was, I don't know, somehow out of frame for a
Oh.
second.
See?
I was saying, should look at some of these dark areas if there's anything. That's all I said.
Ah, yes, I agree. And then here's a die for you.
What?
Do it.
Yeah, we went into the dark area and found a die for you.
Die, die, die.
Die, die, die.
Coming.
Say that?
Oh, Jenny. No, that doesn't work.
You're feeling luckier.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I want a 20, man. I don't want a 20.
Well, at least it's a 7. It's up
Yes,
from the 6.
comfortable environment.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't to disparage the roll. It's just like I don't know, like, have we gotten a 20 ever?
I think once or
I
twice.
think once, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been at least one that I remember for sure.
Okay. Like, there's anything else here? I have a feeling no.
There's a chest right here.
Where?
Oh, so there is.
Oh, I missed that.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay.
Got it done.
Yeah, I think so.
Must be nice to have a private property like this. Must
All up in
be
the sky on a
nice.
beanstalk.
That's the dream right there. Ain't no one coming to visit you when they gotta go through a little weird wizard's anus.
Oh, I don't know. Wizards' anuses might be very popular destinations.
You would know, wouldn't you?
Do I count as a wizard?
Or somebody who likes to go in buttholes.
Oh, yeah.
Term is interchangeable, really.
Oh, I thought wizard was a term for somebody who's like 35 and still a virgin or something. 40 and still a virgin. I forget when you achieve that rank.
Oh, okay.
The people on Reddit.
Oh, Jesus. Should not be listening to that.
No, I know, right?
Boom. Everything's sold. Let's see. Journal. We got more for this area, right? Let's see. Tangle Drift. Burning hunger. Travel to the forge in here. Where's the forge? Let's see the map. The forge? Oh, that's actually really close. Just over there somewhere.
Right now.
Right on.
Oh, yeah. I got a sick rocket launcher out of one of those chests. It's a green item, but it's surprisingly powerful.
Oh, don't forget to check your myth ranks, eh?
Oh, yeah, I've been putting points
Oh
in.
yeah.
I got four. I just got banked here. So I noticed, yeah, every time it goes around, it's unlocking more of the tree to choose from, which ain't bad. But it sucks that you have to like hover, like for on the left-hand side icons, you're hovering over there, but you have to look far to the right-hand side of the screen to see what the bonus is.
Oh, yeah.
A little unintuitive. Ooh, move speed? Hell yeah, move speed. I don't have a companion.
Oh, it could be a grenade launcher or a rifle. Jesus, I've been using the saw blade thing for like ever, and I only just realized it has another mode.
Oh, really? Nice. Oh, one last thing. Oops. My skills, see my stats. Hell yeah, I have a strength of 40.
Nice. I don't even know what mine are. Statisticals. I have a strength of 13. I am just wee. But I have an attunement of 31.
Oh yeah, that's pretty
Nice.
nice. Dex is my other big one with 32. Yeah. Let's go. What are we fighting? What are we fighting? I didn't see it.
Iron Shroomlet.
Oh. Oh, I see you.
Whoa. What did you go flying out
Ooh, exploder, damn it. Yeah.
All right. Boing.
Cosmetics. Oh, shit.
Those things.
Damn it. Gotta switch off this gun more. Not kill myself accidentally. Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh. Okay. Travel to the forge. Where's the forge? Oh, okay. It says this thing. Oh, is there a fight? I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't know. I just saw a thing, so I started shooting.
Oh, shit. Yeah, yeah, there's a fight. There's a fight. All right. Whee. Okay. Okay. That's good. Just hold it. Oh. Okay.
Bounce, bounce.
Whee. Let's go.
Chains.
Bounce to the motherfucking house. More bounce to the motherfucking house.
Oh, indeed.
There's a Durgan in the fireplace.
Dragon?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
And a wyvern's hunger.
Okay.
Long have I
Never noticed before that they have like more than two eyes. Is it four? Is it four eyes? It looks like it.
Yeah, they still have an alien look to them.
Yeah. It's bubbly soda bottle.
and I shall grant you this all you so desire.
Okay.
To rob a flame of its freedom is a cruel blasphemy. I will free you, servant.
You are wise for an ape. First, you must still this infernal contraption, else the hatch above will not open.
This way.
Oh. Alright.
Oh, there's fire. Watch out.
It's okay, it only burns a little bit. Oh my god, where are we supposed to? What? Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll take a bit of fire damage. I don't care.
I have summoned cacophony.
Oh.
Somewhere near this prison, perhaps where the sun shines, lies the release mechanism to open my cage.
Is it? Yeah, is it this? Is it going to be this?
And I shall have my freedom.
Hey! Good guess.
Soon I shall be free
I
once
see.
again. And the heavens will
Wait, where's Dave?
with my
I don't know. Where are you?
We're up.
apologies.
Oh, did that other door open?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were in the hallway with us.
No.
Okay.
I better
Up
not
where?
regret this.
How do I get up there? Oh, I see.
Yep.
There's a lever. Can I pull it?
Yeah.
Oh, the lava crunk.
Hey, there he is.
You have set me free.
Yeah, we did. Now be our friend.
Yeah.
Shall settle my
Oh, sorry to hear that. Quest
No, we
complete.
just wanted to be friends, buddy. Why did you have to do that?
Why?
Yeah, what a dick.
What a dick. Okay, that was it.
Friends, we could have rode on his back and soared through the sky. It would have been epic. But nope, he
Would have been
fucked it all
best
up.
buds.
Okay, here's the last quest in this area that we have. Ron Revote. Yeah, how we get out of here?
Just over there.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Ooh, that looked interesting. What was that? SMG. Oh, thrown weapon becomes gun with wings. Hell yeah. I'll try it. Yeah, how do we get out of here? Oh, I see another sheep. If anybody finds it, please mark it. I don't know.
I don't even know what we're looking for.
I'm just away off this little island. I don't know where we are. Do we have to go back through that basement of that house? Is it, did we just somehow magically get over here? Because it looks like we're on an island.
I see a bouncy thing here. Maybe this will work.
Where? There. Okay, thank you. That's what I
That
meant.
seems to do the job.
Cool. Whee!
Maybe we're going up this other set of bouncy things. It looks like it.
What, on the side? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Another part of the town, I guess. Let's go.
Oh yeah, this area.
Yeah. Oh, wasn't this a fight?
Maybe.
Maybe. Alright, let me check the map real quick. Make sure we're not being misled. No, this looks right. Okay. We can do it.
There's a chest down here.
Oh, yeah, underneath. Oh, but a beef shroom just appeared. Whee!
Oh god.
Fly, my pretties, fly. That's just great. Oh, I got blue.
Harvesting for so
New weapon.
I love them. They're my favorite. I have a fucking horde of bats if I spam my reload.
Amazing.
Is it? Okay. Oh no, we're good. Okay. Okay. Ready to push?
Yeah. But where do? Oh, there's a die over there.
Nice. I think it's your turn.
Excellent.
All the way over there? Okay.
Isn't it my turn?
Oh. Okay. Sure.
I thought Dave just did one.
I honestly don't remember, but by all means.
Yeah, me neither. Not for sure. Am I stuck? I might be stuck. I did.
Oh no.
Yeah, I fell onto a vine below. Darn it. Alright.
Really push on. I feel like
Can you mark where you go? Okay, I see. Oh, you're over there.
what?
What?
Oh, I'm just trying to figure out how to get to the next area. I think we maybe have to go up this tower. Whoa, a little bit. Try not to get too far ahead, but
Go up this tower. Oh, I see. I see. I see. Yeah.
looks like
Yeah.
there's some eldritch weapons up there. So
Yeah, I see that. Okay. Heading over. Ooh, where's this to? Oh, hey, that was fun. Oh, careful. Fly, my pretties. Fly. I can shoot this guy and they just keep... Holy shit. Ah! Nothing. Oops. Up and up and up. Oh, no? Wait. How'd you get up there?
there's a lily pad.
Oh, yes, I see. Thank you.
There. No more.
Oh, and all the treasure falls to the void. As they do, them dragons be flying.
They do. I
Whoa!
feel like that.
Oh, where did you go?
That was gonna happen. I found another dice.
Okay. Well, then it's your turn.
Right.
There's a pad over here, Dave. Yeah, over here.
No, I've already clicked it. It's somebody else's turn.
Oh, well, that's what I thought of
Boing.
for Dave, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Dave's turn.
Hey, you feel luckier.
17. Not bad. Anything else around this?
Seemed like it.
Yeah. Oh, we got a little trap. Okay. Whee! Oh.
Damn it, I hit the trap.
Just
There is a chest over here. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I'll take that. How you doing, friend?
Oh, my back's sore. Just noticed.
Well, stop whenever you need to if you need to stop being in a seated position.
Yeah, I know.
Chest.
What in the next jump? Oh no. Oh, over there. Yeah. I see.
And now I wait.
Here, I'll catch up to you in a second, I guess.
All right.
Oh, geez. Wow. Oh, yeah, I see. Right here, right?
How did I get over there?
Jump.
Up the... Oh. Huh. Those corkscrews all the way up. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And then this little jump here.
one man's strength.
Yeah.
Or just mine.
Bullets beyond counting.
All right. Whee!
I think after we complete this quest, I'll probably call it.
Okay. Oh, what? I like the sound of this gun too. Very satisfying.
Hey, were we even supposed to be going this way?
No. Just aggroed a lot of guys, that's all. I think that's it. let's go back. Ooh, whoa, what the hell?
Ouch.
Alright, that could have been one of our shields. Could have been my shield. Oh, yeah, right. Oh,
We're going this way.
yeah.
It's this fancy pants dude.
Alas, my dutiful friend and squire, you are here.
Ron Revote. Oh, he's a Don Quixote thing. Wonderful. I think we're gonna go fight some windmills.
Oh, deja vu.
That doesn't bode
Whoa.
well for the political stability of the region.
That was a terrible place for him to stop.
Yeah.
My friend, this is a quest. For... now, quickly to the Cyclops lair. And always remember to take the scenic route. Life's too short, squire. This one-eyed fiend holds
Okay.
you captive. Who knows how? Squire, look! The monsters mash our minions!
Oh, okay. Beefy. Damn it. Oh.
You don't see the giant with one eye?
Oh, wait. Does this guy think the clock tower with one eye is a cyclops? And we're just going along with it? I mean, he needs help. Like, professional.
Oh, I see.
You're rolling dice with a teenager to swing imaginary swords.
Okay, I see your point.
Clear area. Oh, no, we're still going? Okay.
Nope.
Oh no!
Well struck, squire!
Oh.
Finish our foe! Harry! Riposte! Remise! Prise d'affaires! Moulinet! S'il vous plaît! That's not it. Cyclops is down. But who knows what
Oh, here he is.
Quickly, squire, quickly! To the castle's keep! Afore he rises!
Okay. Okay.
All right then.
Oh, you're already up there? Nice.
Yes.
Open.
Oh, misery! Thy name is Rivote! The Cyclops jawed me with some foul idea. I can scarce go on, but hark! I hear
Guys.
the princess cry!
What?
Race on,
Oh, I think that's my turn.
find the princess!
That is, buddy.
I've heard enough
Oh.
screams to know the real deal. I'll find that.
20, there it is.
Oh, hey, cool. There's some strange sound.
With the blood of a knight through these tender veins. Alas, I cannot rest.
Oh, I see.
One slave, and beauties like captive and towers. I may
Is he
as
still
well
out here?
compose more poems for my love while I catch my breath here. Ah, that's it. My love, she takes my every breath away. And here she's standing by my side, coming.
Okay, let's fight them.
The fuck?
All my years.
Merely the cry of a rusty pipe. How disappointing.
Oh, shit. And I fell.
This must be the princess.
Found a doll.
Bit shorter than I expected.
The doll?
It's like a little bunny doll.
That was cool. Try it again.
You're back! Ah, my heart swears to know
Oh.
love is near. Have you brought me my sweet, sweet daffodil?
Sure.
Of course I have. One princess, as promised.
You give him the doll.
You must be quite blind to think this common made a princess. Meaning no offense, madame. Princess has the tall and straight back bearing of royalty. The slim silhouette of
Oh,
noble
Jesus.
refinement, and has long blonde hair, straight as a quiver of golden arrows. Quickly, quickly, go get the real princess.
What the fuck, dude? We're not your dating app.
Shrooms.
Beef! Oh, that was quick. Oh. Okay.
I never miss.
God
Oh.
damn it.
You, Al. That gun you have.
Yes.
The reload
Yes.
property. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That one I had with a different character. That's the one. When you spam it, fucking stacks and does crazy damage. Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
Okay, what do we got here? A broom. Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Slim and blonde. You must be the princess.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I feel my heartstrings tug, which can only mean you have the princess.
Sure. Where are you?
Have you the princess at last?
Yeah.
Aye, here she is, I think.
Ah, now that we are reunited, our quest nears its end. What's this? It seems the Cyclops is up, and it's none too pleased with us. He summons his whole horde. Come, squire, to arms!
What? There.
Ah,
Fuck.
my darling princess. In a scant few hours we depart. Allow me to spill forth a lyric of fire, that I might express my overflowing easy, row when I clicked on a rock and told we first I beheld fish so sweet.
What's this?
Tumbled myself. He slipped me and trimmed me right off my feet. I didn't say a word. You swear. Hate it, don't you? Your silence speaks clearer than my poetry for our expression. Very upset. These words came to me in a dream. A very short dream, mind you, but such a dream it was.
Yeah.
Whether a tavern or two, my love, she lights up any room. My floor's never dusty.
Fuck you, beefy shrimp.
Right. squirty dust, like a brush or feather duster or some dirty squibs.
Ooh.
I've seen this happen before. He's in a love trance. We're gonna have to get physical to snap him out of it.
What?
No way, girl. I only narrate up to 5th base. After that, you on your own.
No, I'm saying we have to hit him. Get your mind out of the... Wait, what's 5th base?
Ah.
I was miles away. Now, we make good our escape.
Okay.
Just stand there. Adventure awaits. Adventure and a princess. And night never keeps a
Oh, no.
princess waiting.
Oh, I see. Ron reveal. Okay. Ah.
Sorry.
Where are we going, Ron? Ah.
I was really hoping he was going to jump on the broom and try and fly it off a cliff.
Yeah, that still might be what happens.
Squire.
Oh yeah, his camp.
Yet, I confess, ours is just beginning. We must away to that grand adventure called. Remember all I taught you, and you shall go far.
Okay.
This world is full of adventures. You need only keep your eyes and your heart ever open to its wonder. Now, bid me adieu, fair.
Oh dear.
I must away with a swiftness. Night never keeps a princess waiting, after all.
Are you gonna put that up your butt?
Probably.
No shame in
I'll
that.
go stick
Go
around
on,
on it.
then. Get out of here.
Just might be a little splintery.
It's just extra stimulation.
Okay. Oh. Bye.
Oh, amazing.
Although in retrospect, I don't see how he could be.
We got a necklace out of that. Is there anything interesting?
Neat.
Oh yeah, Ruvote's Amulet of Adventure. The one I have is lightning damage and spore warden power.
Interesting. Yeah, mine too.
Is
No
that
use to me.
the same for you, Al? Because if it's not, I can give you mine.
I'm trying to find it.
It's blue, and
What's it
it's
called? Oh, it's
Revo-
blue.
yeah, it's blue. Might be near the bottom of your blue list if it's sorted by rarity.
Oh, that's fun. If you shoot these
Oh,
target
I
dummies,
see.
they actually take damage. Never noticed that before.
Yeah, spore warden and lightning damage.
Okay, so you got
Plus
the exact same.
27% loot luck.
Okay. So we all got the exact same one. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh wow. So we completed, according to my journal, all the quests in this area. Now, we're gonna go back to Brighthoof, yeah?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if there's more quests in this area to find or more searching to do in this area, we could just stay here and come back to this.
Well, hold on.
Well, we just have to scroll the town portal so we can come back anyways, right?
According to my map, we've done everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've completed this area. Nice.
Well, then let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay. Huzzah.
Well, that was a good run. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Fun little Friday thing.
Heckin' yeah.
That was good.
So you guys know how I turned that book into the Necronomicon? Just telling you about that. Dave, you were here when I was doing it. When we were watching the Evil Dead movies.
Oh, that's what you were doing.
Yeah, I was making it into a Necronomicon. So I started painting it today, and I've decided its name is the Neonomicron. So be prepared for how bright and shiny that's going to be.
I can't wait.
Yeah. All right, folks, I'm going to log off and go put an extremely hot shower on my back because it hurts.
Okay,
Okay,
fine.
have fun melting your skin off or whatever.
Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you soon, okay? Oh, and Elle, you're coming over Sunday, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool beats. All right.
Okay.
See you later, guys.
Hey, mate.
All right, have a good night. All right. Yeah, I'll hop off here.
Oh, it's definitely their mic.
Oh, yeah, that's totally gone now. Weird. All right, then.
All right. Oh, you're hopping off too? All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right, ciao.
Sure. I'm going to keep going and Surging Magic Barrage. What do I have? I have these. So it says 754 times 2. Like times 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Feels like I'm getting 4. Feels like I'm getting more than 2. I don't know how that works. You would think maybe each blade does. Hold to cast repeatedly. Yeah. Ooh, that's a lot of toxic damage. That's worth keeping, I guess. Alright, I'm not too worried about that then. Better sword. Gotta beat what, like 1100? Oh, here, just do that. Right, pick up. No, just all crap. Yeah, no, that's gonna be good. Don't care. Really want. Oh, if I can get some sort of legendary calamity-like thing, I would be so happy. Or, did I pick that up? I would be so happy. All right, how much money do I got? 1.8. Not enough for an upgrade. Oh, what am I left carrying? I do really like that one. It's quite nice. Wait. Oh, is this a new... Did I... Wait, what? Oh, it's the same thing, though. It's the same thing, but more damage. Has one big boy rocket. What? Oh, it's got what I like to call the bikini sight. That one's pretty straightforward. Cool. All right. Yeah, since I got that one's got the dark magic. Now I got a nice array. No cold either. That's hilarious. Oh. It's actually to my detriment because I have a lot of things that boost my cold damage. If I'm not ever doing cold damage, what am I doing? Alright. Let's peek in the machine. This one? Okay, interesting. No, I don't want sniper rifles. Nope. Really amazing frost spell? No. Oh, calamity. Ooh. Could do. Could do. Nope, wrong button. What? Yeah, I need a test thing to shoot. There's a target practice thing around. I know there is.
Now that's the good stuff.
Oh, I'll have to pick up that stuff too. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Okay, stop burning. Stop burning. Thank you.
Devastation inbound.
There we go. So it does come downwards. Cool. Oh yeah. Let's see what the big boy does. Fuck. Compared to, so that was 9,000 compared to, so it's just double. It's a double. Cool. Interesting. And then just double check this. Now I can actually test these out a little bit. That's pretty comparable. Okay, what the hell did this thing do? What? It's very fast, but it's very precise. I like really big explosions, so we're gonna go with Calamity. Which means I bank. Wow, these are both level 40 spells now. Cool. I'm gonna bank all that. Cool. Alright, what do we got? What'd I miss? No surprise. Garbage. Am I doing a lot of poison? Yeah, I guess I'm doing a lot of poison with my sword. Hold on. Yeah, that seems like a better way to go, for sure. An action skill cooldown rate and gun handling compared to... I do like me my reload speed. That's fine. Alright, let's see what this stuff is. What I got? Armor decoration. Oh, it's going to be a color, eh? No, I need to see... Yeah, this one. Oh, there it is. Go, now. Yeah, no, we're good. I already got a good color, thanks. Cool, and then I got... No. No. Pose. The Jester. Yeah, not quite for her. Or for them.
Perfection.
Okay, let's go dump off the rest of that crap I just picked up, and then I guess call it there. Boom. Nice clean backpack. Got some money. All my stuff is fit. Yeah, only 2 things that are level 39, and I'm not worried about that. Cool. And then how are we doing for quests? Oh, nice. Okay. Really shortened the list up. It was getting really long there. There was like 3 more. We knocked off 3 tonight. So we can go back and do all of these first before going on to that. It'd be perfect. I don't know what any of the challenge buffs are, but we got the attunement. Might have to actually look some of this stuff up. All right. Anyway, I hope you all take care of yourselves and each other, and have a good night. Oh, let's see. We could have let's see if there's anybody to raid. Ooh, bit of a flash there. Okay. Well, no, everybody's no. I'm not gonna raid anybody. I still don't know how that works properly, so another time. Anyway, have a good night. Oh. Chaos.